He stopped to save a stranger's life, and minutes later, police arrested him. Jesse Cunningham, a veteran, was traveling through Colorado with his family when he saw the aftermath of a serious motorcycle crash. Jesse had medical training, so he immediately pulled over to help the badly injured rider. But once the police arrived, the focus suddenly shifted. The officer said he could smell alcohol. Jesse told them he'd had 2 beers hours earlier, but he was completely sober. He even asked to take a breathalyzer test to prove it, but the officer refused. Instead, the officers made Jesse perform roadside sobriety tests. Seconds later, the officers arrested Jesse, claiming he'd been driving drunk, and took him to jail, where he was given a blood test. And because his 2 children had been in the car, the alleged DUI also led to 2 child endangerment charges, 1 for each daughter. But here's where the story gets even weirder. Although the officer refused to breathalyze Jesse, he tested Jesse's wife to make sure she was sober enough to drive their children home. Jesse spent the night in jail. The arrest and DUI charge hung over Jesse and his family. Even though no breathalyzer test had been given and the only evidence sat untested in a laboratory. After the arrest, his employer, the Department of Homeland Security, launched its own investigation. Child Protective Services questioned both of his daughters. Then, 3 months later, the blood test results finally came back. No alcohol or drugs were detected. There was no evidence to support the DUI charge. Jesse had been telling the truth the entire time. Prosecutors had no choice but to drop all the charges. But after months of investigations, damage to his reputation, and trauma to his family, clearing his name could not undo everything the arrest had caused. The arrest cost Jesse a promotion at work, and his daughters needed counseling after watching their father get arrested, so he decided to sue the city of Fort Collins. Nearly 5 years after the incident, in 2026, the city agreed to pay him $500,000. Jesse Cunningham was a Good Samaritan who stopped to help a stranger in need, but instead he nearly lost his family and his job.